Welcome back. So another corporate conversation, and this time around with Symphony. Now, this company posted a very strong set of numbers for the fourth quarter. Revenue was up around 35%. Stocks cooled off today, but we'll pull a longer-term chart, and you will see the kind of price traction that it's managed for itself. Now, margins for the company in the fourth quarter expanded significantly. In fact, I want to read out the margin number. From 17.3% a year back, the margin number went to almost 25%. So what accounts for this, and is it sustainable? Let's put that question to Nrupesh Shah, ED of Symphony. Mr. Shah, thank you for joining in. First of all, of course, hope you, your colleagues and everybody at home is safe. And that's the question. What's gone into this margin performance, and what about the sustainability of these numbers?
No, thank you. So, as we have always said, on account of continuous innovation, it's a very strong brand, and our thrust on rural as well as semi-urban market, it has been like a generation gap in terms of variety of models of Symphony products and peers. And as we had said, recovery might be delayed, but no way recovery is derailed. And right until last week of April, there was very buoyant demand, and sentiments were very, very strong. That's number one. And number two, as far as our Australian subsidiary is concerned, that is Climate Technology, March quarter has been a turnaround quarter. March quarter has been a tremendous turnaround quarter. And now looking forward, we expect it to perform as it was originally estimated. And thirdly, all in all, Symphony India and Climate Technology put together have sold goods worth of about $13 million US, close to 100 crore rupees in US. And that has been also breakthrough, and that seems to be not only sustainable, but also likely to pose a growth down the line.
Okay, that, Mr. Shah, is exactly what I wanted to ask you, down the line growth, because FY21 was a peculiar year for everybody. So I mean, can we get the bar chart for the historical revenues? I mean, you were growing from 884 crore to 1100 crore in FY20. FY20 over FY19 was something like a 25-30% growth. And then FY21 is a contraction of about 15%. So, do you catch back to 1100 in this year itself?
We are quite optimistic, subject to, in last summer, it was peak of the season, and unfortunately, stringent lockdown was imposed. Again, back to back, in second summer, there has been a major COVID crisis. Of course, lockdown is not as stringent as it was last year. And secondly, there are many, many markets which are still open, and still 2 months of the quarter has to go. And as of today, the performance even in the quarter is good. So by and large, if our June quarter is in line with June 19, we expect it to achieve that and maybe even to surpass that.
Okay, so you expect the current quarter to be better than the 2019 June quarter?
No, what I said, it may be in line with June 2019 quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on the input cost front, has a lot of that price increase that we've seen on metals, has that already been passed on to you? And then are you able to seamlessly pass it on to your customers, or will that at some point hit demand?
No, certainly until December, whatever was input cost increase or freight cost increase on account of our value engineering and series of cost rationalization initiatives, we could very well maintain our profitability margin. However, post 31st December, there has been steep rise in the metal costs, several other raw material costs, apart from that freight costs and few other variable costs. And hence, for the quarter of March 21, our gross profit margin is slightly down. However, over a period of time in few phases, we expect to improve that further.
Okay.
So what will be the price hikes that you'll have to undertake to protect that gross margin? Some ballpark range?
No, I won't indulge into any guesswork in that respect. Maybe over a period of time, in phases, we may like to do it depending upon the situation and market dynamics.
Which regions are you seeing demand this April?
No, as of now, demand was across the region, including it was from urban, semi-urban, as well as rural areas. Of course, since last 1 week to 10 days, it has slightly dampened.
Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted to know. You know, look at the number of places where there is statewide lockdown. Karnataka, Kerala has strict weekend curbs. And then Delhi, of course, is seriously locked down. Tamil Nadu has locked down a great deal of shops. Mumbai has locked down all the shops. So I wanted to know, April, where could you sell?
First and foremost, it is e-commerce. Secondly, we have also initiated D2C initiative, that is direct to consumer sales. Thirdly, of course, you rightly mentioned that in those places, it's quite challenging to sell for the dealers and domestic trade. But at the same time, there are many markets, still they are open. As of now,
that's why, Mr. Shah,
secondary sales is difficult.
Yeah, Mr. Shah, that's why I'm asking you, which are those places where it is open and where demand is still available?
Mainly semi-urban markets and rural markets across the country, including some of the states you mentioned.
Okay. So semi-urban and urban, semi-urban and rural is doing well. Okay. All right, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Nrupesh Shah, for joining us with all those details. The hope is that they will come back to their FY19 levels in the June quarter itself. The big impediment being not enough shops are open. Take a look at the past financials of Symphony. We have the revenue coming up for you, and then the EBITDA and the profit after tax.
Okay. We have to take a break. In the midst of that Symphony conversation, if you notice the flash, the numbers are somber. We're back to 3.6 lakhs in terms of daily cases, and that's